another beautiful Monday.
Coast, descent, open your eyes. Coast to ladder, and you realize that coast is the way to make you feel alive. Coast, feel alive.
Sure beats snow.
Feel alive with Coast.
You won't believe what's happening inside your muffler. Rust that starts on the inside is eating its way through. The Napa Advantage muffler with Absorbite helps prevent internal rust. The inside of this muffler was not protected with Absorbite. This muffler was. You can see the difference. The Napa Advantage is even covered by a lifetime warranty. Of course, you may never have to use it. The Napa Advantage. It puts rust at a disadvantage. Available at thousands of Napa outlets.
Come get the best of the USA. Come out and play the American way. Las Vegas in every way. It's the American way to play.
The quest for the NBA championship begins tonight in 4 different cities. Plus, the New York Knicks apparently have a new head basketball coach. We'll have those stories, the Thursday rundown in baseball, and everything in the world of sports on SportsCenter at 12:30 a.m. Eastern.
And welcome back to our Road to the Cup studios, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the game. I'm Tom Mees. Big goal for Winnipeg by Ray Neufeld in the last minute of the period should boost them if they have any shot at all in the third period. Meanwhile, Toronto and Detroit. What in the world is happening to the Detroit Red Wings? The Toronto Maple Leafs are partying tonight. This is what happened in the last 20 seconds of regulation at Joe Louis Arena. Toronto already has a 7-2 lead. The fans have long since left. They came with great anticipation tonight, but it wasn't to be. Kenny Reggett was the first star of this game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Detroit has been outscored now 11-4 in 2 games at home. John Brophy, the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, has to be ecstatic as you look at the new style of celebrating in the NHL. Let's have a little helmet butt there. Well, you didn't exactly see it too close, but they were butting helmets back and forth. John Brophy has to be very, very excited as the Maple Leafs go back now to Maple Leaf Gardens for games 3 and 4 this Saturday and Monday, knowing that if they win those 2 games, they won't have to go back to Joe Louis Arena. Toronto Maple Leafs leading the series now 2-0. Jacques Demers and the Detroit Red Wings had to go back to the assembly line and retool, or their season will be over in just a few days. Our Road to the Cup continues. After 2 in Edmonton, the Oilers lead it 4-2.
The New Valley Motors in New Kensington, trucks are delivering new inventory nearly every day. I'm Roger Ray, president of the New Valley Motors, where you can get an exciting deal from the largest inventory of cars and trucks in our history. Ford, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge, now during the spectacular spring inventory sale. Plus, we're committed to having the finest service department in the Alakiski Valley. Exciting deals, great selection. The spectacular spring inventory sale, now at the New Valley Motors, 100 Greensburg Road, New Kensington.
If you're looking to protect your home, auto, business, life, or health, talk with the experts, the Altany Insurance Agency in Brackenridge.
At Altany Agency, we build quality into insurance because we really care about people.
And with quality comes quantity. The Altany Agency deals with more than a dozen companies, so they have more flexibility to tailor an insurance plan to fit your needs.
Insurance is our only business, and at Altany Agency, we do it right.
The Altany Insurance Agency, Brackenridge Avenue, Brackenridge.
You'd no more settle for a flake in your hair than a spot on your tie. You passed the test, you good grooming, has a look of success. Your head and shoulders above the rest. One flake can mean dandruff. Regular shampoos may rinse flakes, but Head and Shoulders protection goes to the source to help stop flakes.
And that's doing it right.
Your head and shoulders above the rest.
Coming this fall to ESPN. The best of the NFL. From preseason contests to 8 Sunday night clashes and the season finale Pro Bowl, you'll see it all live on ESPN. From start to finish this year, pro football duels here on the exclusive cable home of the NFL, ESPN.
Along the road to the Cup, the Edmonton Oilers in charge, although Winnipeg got a late goal in that second period from Neufeld. It's still Edmonton 4, Winnipeg 2 as the two teams rest up between the second and third periods. Let's go back live to the Northlands Coliseum now. Rick Peckham and John Davidson standing by. Guys, I got to ask you, with the new format in the first round where they went to 7 games, everybody speculated, including me, that we'd have less upsets in the first round. Last year, 3 of the 4 division champs out of there in the first round. This year, 2 of the 4 division champs out of there. What in the world is happening, Rick and John?
I don't know, Tom. That's a difficult question to answer. I think maybe one answer might be, John and Tom, is the accent on defensive hockey again. It's brought certainly Detroit and Toronto up to respectability, and they've played well by it. Maybe that helps to even things out.
Goaltending. Pay those goaltenders more money. The teams that are doing well have had real hot goaltending. Quebec knocked off Hartford, and there was some splendid goaltending with Goslin. You look at the Islanders, how well they're doing. Kelly Rudy's been sensational. Goaltending, pay them more money.
And that can hold you in on the road as well, Tom, including tonight's victory by the Maple Leafs there at Joe Louis Arena. The road team has won 27 times, the home team only 24 times in Stanley Cup play so far.
I gotta ask you candidly, both of you, with the upsets we've had and the fact that Philadelphia is going to be difficult if they do win the series, is the table now set for Gretzky and the Oilers? They're playing so well now. Is the table set for them, do you think, to cruise on in and win the Cup back?
Well, they've got to be encouraged by the play of their third and fourth lines and some of the other people here tonight.
You know, it's a situation where you look at a setup. Say they play Toronto in the next round. Toronto have some fast, very fast and underrated forwards, and that may be a series that will go a lot longer than what people anticipate. I don't write off Winnipeg yet. You know, Winnipeg played very well on home ice. They played well on home ice in the playoffs, and they're going to be tough. This may be a long series yet, but if you look at a long-term situation, Edmonton's pretty much in the driver's seat, and also include Philadelphia's injuries. Philadelphia are trying, they're working their best, but they have injury problems that are very deep.
John, about tonight's game now going into the third period, as you mentioned, the Jets are going to be lifted by this goal, but what else can Dan Maloney do to try to get things going?
Edmonton are dumping the puck in, and they are knocking Winnipeg off the puck in that Winnipeg zone deep. The forwards for Winnipeg have got to help their defensemen out by holding up some of those attacking Edmonton forwards. Give them some time to at least get the puck, turn around and face the play so they can move the puck out. What they're doing is going back and getting the puck, facing the glass, and getting hammered into the glass. The forwards have got to pick up and help out those defensemen. Once they get out of the zone, then try and create something. But they are now coming out of the zone 1 or 2 players at a time.
Tom, it's going to be an interesting scoring summary if things hold in this one. People will open the paper. Who knows, Edmonton certainly would expect to hold on here, but they're going to see Huddy, Ruotsalainen scoring, Mo LeMay with a goal, Dave Hunter with a goal. Where's Gretzky and Curry in this?
They could open up the paper and say one word. Who are these guys? All right, get a rest. We'll be back to the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton in just a moment. After 2 periods, it is 4-2, the Oilers over the Jets, and we'll be back as the road to the Cup continues with a Prudential scoreboard. Don't miss that. We'll be right back in a moment.
The New Valley Motors in New Kensington, trucks are delivering new inventory nearly every day. I'm Roger Ray, president of the New Valley Motors, where you can get an exciting deal from the largest inventory of cars and trucks in our history. Ford, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge, now during the spectacular spring inventory sale. Plus, we're committed to having the finest service department in the Alakiski Valley. Exciting deals, great selection. The spectacular spring inventory sale, now at the New Valley Motors, 100 Greensburg Road, New Kensington.
If you're looking to protect your home, auto, business, life, or health, talk with the experts, the Altany Insurance Agency in Brackenridge.
At Altany Agency, we build quality into insurance because we really care about people.
And with quality comes quantity. The Altany Agency deals with more than a dozen companies, so they have more flexibility to tailor an insurance plan to fit your needs.
Insurance is our only business, and at Altany Agency, we do it right.
The Altany Insurance Agency, Brackenridge Avenue, Brackenridge.
You don't just watch an NHL game, you feel it. Feel the power, the speed, feel the strength, the grace. The magic. NHL hockey. Feel the thunder.
Time now for the Road to the Cup Prudential Scoreboard, brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and other financial services. Tonight at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, the Toronto Maple Leafs walked all over the Detroit Red Wings. Second period, already 3-0. Pass from behind the net to Detroit's Darren Veach, who beats Ken Reggett. That's news. That's one of 2 goals in the night for Detroit. 3-1, Toronto on the power play. Russ Courtnall, number 9. Look at the time he has on the power play to walk in, pick out the post, and ding it in there. It is 4-1, Toronto. The round is on. 5-1 in the third period. Russ Courtnall on a 2-on-1 with Steve Thomas. Courtnall with the shot. The rebound comes out to Thomas, who makes no mistake. Detroit does salve the wound a little bit at the end. Adam Oates with the puck, the youngster out of RPI, over to Brent Ashton, controls the puck with his skate and beats Ken Reggett. But Reggett was spectacular tonight, all told. He was the #1 star in that game. Toronto goes home with a 2-0 lead over the Detroit Red Wings. Now, our game at the Northlands Coliseum, Winnipeg trailing the Oilers by a score of 4-2 after 2. Let's take a look at some of the highlights now. In the second period, Edmonton came into the period leading 2-1 after the first period of play. And, of course, the Edmonton Oilers have so many guns. And as Rick and John mentioned, it's not just Gretzky and the boys. Here, Jari Kurri with a pass to Reijo Ruotsalainen. And a 2-on-1 makes it 3-1. Now, the Oilers dump the puck into the zone. On the boards, Marty McSorley. Some nice board work there. Puck comes loose. And here's a centering pass to Mo LeMay. In front, it is 4-1 Edmonton. Late in the period, though, with 54 seconds left, Dave Ellett towards the net on the backhand, the save, but the rebound is loose in front, and Ray Neufeld pokes it in for the Winnipeg Jets. He scored at 19:04, and after 2 periods, it is Edmonton 4 and Winnipeg 2, and that wraps up the Prudential Scoreboard. Tonight, we'll have another edition of the Prudential Scoreboard again on Saturday as the Road to the Cup continues. It's 4-2 Edmonton after 2.
Bugsy, stay. Make sure your auto insurance is under control when your car's not. Have your Prudential representative give you a fast, free pro review of your coverage.
Are you covered? I don't know.
You'd know with a Prudential Pro Review. The right coverage is no accident.
Oh, my...
Get a Pro Review from the Prudential and get a piece of the rock.
Nice boat.
These days, computers are spewing forth a sea of information. Yet it's harder than ever to find what you need without getting swamped. But at AT&T, we can help you stay afloat. We're working to combine computers and communications so you can get the right information to the right people at the right time. As easy as using the telephone. AT&T, the right choice.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
7:24, my feet are hitting the floor. 7:30, time to tie my shoe. At 7:34, I'm out the door. Catch a 7:42. Next stop, McDonald's, breakfast by the hand. That tasty biscuit sandwich fits right into my plan. By the hand, by the hand. Hot and fresh, breakfast at its best. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. Breakfast by the hand.
The quest for the NBA championship begins tonight in 4 different cities. Plus, the New York Knicks apparently have a new head basketball coach. We'll have those stories, the Thursday rundown in baseball, and everything in the world of sports on SportsCenter at 12:30 a.m. Eastern.
Road to the Cup, the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, being brought to you by the crisp, clean, imported taste of Labatt's Blue. It's blue heaven. And by Volvo, a car you can believe in. Well, let's see if that last-minute goal by Ray Neufeld of Winnipeg Jets in the last minute of the second period literally lifts the Jets, or if the Edmonton Oilers are in cruise control. They're leading at 4-2. Let's return to the Northlands Coliseum. Rick Peckelman, John Davis.
John, as you pointed out tonight, especially in the second period, Edmonton is showing their other side tonight, their effectiveness defensively.
Very, very smart, and they have not been trapped. I have not seen an Edmonton hockey game where they have not given up 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. They've been smart. Winnipeg are going to have to shorten their bench, Rick, and they're going to have to go with who Dan Maloney feels have been his best players in this hockey game. They're going to have to get more speed up front, and they're trying to beat Edmonton at Edmonton's blue line. It hasn't worked. They're going to have to dump it in, and with that speed, go in there and get the puck.
Craig Muni starts the third period out of his own zone with a pass to Wayne Gretzky. Here's Kent Nielsen hiding on the right wing. Waters battles Tikkanen. They keep each other away from the puck as Gretzky reaches in there with Boschman. Ray Neufeld sends it out for Carlisle. Jim Nill can't slip the check of Muni. Boschman races in there. Boschman gets the pass. Nill still followed by Muni. Gretzky slips it away from Carlisle. It's a 2-on-1. Curry and Tikkanen. As the Tikkanen shoots it, he just fires it wide.
What a play by Wayne Gretzky at the Edmonton blue line as he was being checked by Carlisle. Flipped the puck out, and it was an automatic 2-on-1.
Coffey blazes in there, and his shot is knocked down by Mario Marois. Paul McLean looks for Howard Chuck. He's in traffic. That's been the case most of the evening. Ian Duncan battles with Huddy. It's poked away by McLean. Marois gives it to Kite. Duncan can't gather in the pass. Huddy is back there first. He's got Anderson waiting. He lets it go. Marois keeps it in, and the shot is wide as Huddy ran into the goaltender, and the blast by Kite is wide. Fuhrer had not gotten set again in his crease.
Offside's been called. Winnipeg shots from the blue line. Erratic, missing the net. Two of the shots on that play missed. Paul Coffey missed a lot of time the last 2 weeks with a bad shoulder. He did play in game 1 of this series. Had to have some oxygen at the end of the game because of his conditioning and the pace of the playoff hockey. Now that shoulder that was bothering him, Rick, he was jammed into the boards in the LA series, and he hurt the shoulder. He had a cortisone shot. It took, he said, a lot of pain to go through with the idea of it, but it's feeling better, and he hopes to get himself back into the top of his game as far as conditioning goes.
What was he telling you this morning? He's got to wear extra large shoulder pads, and he says he can't skate that well with his shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads are affecting the skating ability of Paul Coffey. Hard to believe.
Craig McTavish gets set up. He can't get the backhander on net. It hit the side of the goal, and Reddick grabs that loose puck as Kite moves McTavish away from the net area.
Okie Reddick has done his best to keep the puck out of the net. A lot of times in this game, Edmonton have moved out from behind the net, just like McTavish is going to do, and he tries to jam it in, and finally Reddick hangs on to it, but Winnipeg closed McTavish out that time before he could get right in front of the net. Throughout this game, Edmonton have gained that area in front of Okie Reddick. I talked earlier about Reddick playing in the International Hockey League in 84-85. Some other goaltenders have played in that league. Reddick was in Fort Wayne along with Alain Chevrier, fine goaltender with New Jersey. He was in Fort Wayne also. Ron Hextall played that year in Kalamazoo. Mark DeMoor belonged to Calgary, was in Salt Lake City. Rick Hines played in Peoria, Illinois. Some fine young goaltenders developed out of the International Hockey League.
And that's been the case through the years. Case in point, Bob Froese of the Rangers.
Absolutely. Is Saginaw, is that what?
I think so. Here's Smith. Across to Rutsalonic. And the play's offside. 17:37 remaining here in the third period, and Edmonton leads Winnipeg 4-2.
Blue. Labatt's blue.
Evening is night.
Blue heaven.
I hurry to my
Smooth.
Clean. Crisp.
Labatt's blue.
turn to the right.
Imported beer from Canada.
We'll lead you to my
Labatt's blue. Yeah.
heaven.
Dan Maloney has Dale Howard-Chuck, his 100-point scorer, back on the ice with Brian Mullen and Andrew McBain taking a turn on right wing.
You know, Howard-Chuck, you mentioned 100 points. There was only 7 players in the league this year to reach the 100-point mark. A year ago, there was 13. Scoring was down this year, especially on the power play.
Hellett wins the race ahead of McTavish, and Mullen chops it ahead. Howard-Chuck races in, takes the shot, and he sails it over the shoulder of Grant Fuhrer. Olesen in for the point, bounces it in front and low, directs it off the glass and out. Brian Mullen There's the pass for Howardchuk. The Winnipeg captain has McBain cutting in. His shot is deflected in among the 17,468 on hand here at the Northlands Coliseum.
McBain had a serious knee injury last year. He only played 28 games. 7 months he went to rehabilitation, and he's had a fine year this season. In fact, he's developed into what type of a player they had expected. He's been used a lot, penalty killing with the Jets this year, and as we had mentioned in this broadcast, the Jets #1 in the league of the penalty killing.
McBain, a former #1 pick by the Jets in his 4th year, and he's had some of his best games against Edmonton when he's been healthy. He's really been bothered by injuries through his short NHL career. Tim Waters back with a puck. Huddy chips it out of the zone, and Waters has to head back. He's got Krushelnyski speeding in after him. Tight with a pass for McLean. He couldn't get behind Coffey. And Paul Coffey gathers it in. He looked for some room to roam. He got his signals crossed with McSorley. Waters kicks it free, and it's shoveled out by Steen. Paul Coffey with a pass for Krushelnyski. The Oilers lead by 2 goals, 16:20 to go here in the 3rd period as Pokey Reddick plays it to Waters. It's taken back by Ruotsalainen. The former Ranger gives it to Curry, and the play's whistled offside. As Kite gives Curry a buff, they renew acquaintances once again.
There's a little message there from Jim Kite. He's been against Curry a lot in this hockey game. There's Reijo Ruotsalainen, played this year in Switzerland. I talked to him this morning and asked Ruotsalainen if he's going to go back next year to play in Europe, and he said he didn't think so. And I think he likes it here in Edmonton. He likes the fact that Glenn Sather gives him a free rein offensively. And Sather now checking things out. Kite has been mixed up with Jari Curry. But Ruotsalainen has a chance of playing a full year next year with Edmonton. Ruotsalainen talked also about, Rick, the fact that the smaller ice surface in North America has affected his play somewhat, because in Europe, where the ice surface is much larger, you don't get hit as much. And he's been bumped a little bit here in North America.
Smith races in for the puck. Merwag barely keeps control with the help of Reddick. The pass comes to Curry. He had trouble grabbing it. And Laurie Boschman gets it back. Boschman, a former Edmonton Oiler, stick handles through. Ruotsalainen gets the poke check in there. Neufeld backhands it in front. It's taken by Smith. Native of Scotland, couldn't get it by Carlisle. Tikkanen grabs it. Here comes trouble for Winnipeg as Gretzky flips it to Curry, and he missed on the connection with Tikkanen. Beauty with a shot that's deflected away. Boschman back to Neufeld. Randy Carlisle, a former Norris Trophy winner with the Pittsburgh Penguins back in '81, will go to the bench in the line change. Smale storms in there. The little guy at 5'9", 170, working to try to get that puck for Winnipeg. Curry bangs it off the boards, but not out. Hamel back to Smale, and he was checked by Craig Muni. Here comes number 99. Great move as he gypsy doodles around Gilles Hamel. Ella chops it back. It's a 2-on-1. Gilles Hamel takes the shot, and a diving low blocked it. Gretzky gathers it in. Some dazzling passing displays here by Gretzky and company. Nielsen is checked by Ellett. Brian Mullen sends it back to center.
The accuracy of the Oilers when they pass the puck around, their percentage is so much higher than almost any other team in the league.
Glenn Anderson steams in front, and Reddick freezes the puck against the side of the net. 14-13 left in the 3rd, and Edmonton leads here in Game 2 of the Smythe Division Final.
The 1946 MG. The 1957 Thunderbird. The 1987 Volvo 740 Turbo. A collector's item you can drive every day.
You see a lot of blue shirts on the ice, and that is because the Winnipeg Jets tried the tactic of putting some extra people out to see what the matchup was going to be.
Wayne Gretzky, who bends over at his waist and likes to put the puck out in front of him and dipsy-doodle and draw people to him before he dumps it off. He'll draw two men to him all the time and then find the open man with the pass. And he can pass as well on his backhand as he can on the forehand. Just a great player. He's so imaginative. It's wonderful to watch.
The man is simply amazing. Marois sends it back around to Howard Chuck. Huddy contains the play for Hunter. He gets away from Marois. Hunter has Coffey cutting in, and the pass bounced off his stick. Kite controls it for the Jets. We're 6 minutes into the third. And Hunter, one of the Edmonton goal scorers tonight, shows some speed to get away from Brian Mullen. Paul McLean gets it back to Mullen. Mullen drives it on goal. It's gloved by Grant Fuhr. Rugged Kevin McClellan plays it back to Coffey. Reddick tees it up for Tim Waters. Paul McLean, who just came off a knee injury that kept him out for 3 weeks before the playoffs began, tries to get things set up. He said that what good that would come out of that injury was that he would be rested for the playoffs.
The playoffs, a long, long drive.
Here's a steal. Muller can't get the shot away. Ryan Mullen just set it wide.
Steve Smith having a little bit of trouble handling the puck.
Howard Chuck cuts in front of the backhand. He's held off by Fuhr. He stops the rebound. Grant Fuhr raises the puck for the whistle.
Two big saves by Fuhr. Ruotsalainen was on Howard Chuck. The whole thing started when Steve Smith couldn't handle the puck. And then Winnipeg took advantage of that turnover. Steve Smith's in the lineup because Randy Gregg's out with a bad back. Look at Howard Chuck lean, cut across, one save. Now he goes with a loose puck again. Ruotsalainen is all over him. And Grant Fuhr held on as Winnipeg desperately tried to get closer to the Edmonton Oilers. As I mentioned, Smith is in the lineup. Randy Gregg, who has played well with Ruotsalainen, has had problems with his shoulder, and he wears a brace on his shoulder. And because of that restriction, his back has spasmed up, and he was unable to play in this hockey game. And Smith has filled in for him.
Dale Howard Chuck has experienced a very frustrating evening thus far offensively. He was limited to one shot in game one by Messier and the Oilers. He's had a few more opportunities here tonight, but not a great deal of open ice. Boschman against Messier in this draw.
Two of the very best face-off men in the entire league. Now they're jostling for position, and Morella skated into the face-off circle. Winnipeg have to establish position, and then Edmonton, since they're the home team, can move over and get the final stance.
Boschman trying to out-muscle Messier. That didn't work. Krushelnyski can't get it out, but Messier is hooked by Boschman, and Winnipeg will take a penalty. Laurie Boschman will go for hooking, and the Oilers will have the power play as well as a 4-2 lead when we come back.
Blue. Labatt's blue.
Evening is nice.
Blue heaven.
I hurry to mine.
Smooth.
Clean. Crisp.
Labatt's blue.
Turn to the right.
Imported beer from Canada.
We'll lead you to mine.
Labatt's blue. Yeah.
In case you're tuning in late, be advised that the Toronto Maple Leafs have beaten the Red Wings in Detroit again 7-2. The Leafs go home for the next two games at Maple Leaf Gardens, leading that series 2-0. Let's go back to Edmonton.
Ken Reggett just starring in goal for Toronto. Rick, imagine if Toronto wins that series, they go into the semifinals, and Harold Ballard won't let any media into the locker room. Won't that be a lot of fun?
A great time at Toronto. Huddy gives it to Messier. as the Oilers are on their 6th power play. They're 1 of 5 so far this evening. Here's Kent Nielsen. He's got Coffey busting in. Marois blocked the pass. Reddick makes a save. Wilson chops it down the ice, and Doug Smale, the quick left winger, speeds in for it from the sharp angle. He forces Fuhr to make a stop. Messier, who enjoyed his 3rd 100-point season this year. Coffey and Huddy back up the power play up front. Nielsen has Anderson busting it alone. Glenn Anderson is hooked. He scores!
The 2nd power play goal for Edmonton in this hockey game, and what a pass by Kent Nielsen to spring Glenn Anderson open. Waters was all over Anderson. Watch the balance. There's the hook. He keeps his balance and shuffles it into Pokey Reddick, and the puck trickles over the goal line. Kent Nielsen with a pass out of the Edmonton zone. Watch that, right on the money. It's not 2 lines. Now Anderson slows down, and there you see the hook. Well, what a play and what a pass pattern. And that just shows you what fine, accurate passing can do with a hockey club.
Nielsen and Huddy assist on Anderson's 7. There's Tikkanen in. The backhander is kicked off by Reddick. 5-2, Edmonton leads their 2nd 3-goal advantage of the game, and their 2nd power play goal of the hockey game, and it comes at 8:09 as the puck is cleared into the Edmonton bench area. 11:31 remaining here in the 3rd, and the Oilers have the lead of 5-2.
The Volvo 760, the car for people whose means have changed, but whose values haven't.
Penalties have certainly hurt Winnipeg in this hockey game. Edmonton with 2 power play goals, and you think about McLean, the 1 power play goal. McLean took the penalty in the offensive zone. That last power play goal, it was Boschman taking the penalty between the blue lines, the neutral zone. Not good penalties to take it all.
The Oilers have broken free on the power play tonight. Gary Curry speeds through. Wait! And a great glove save by Pokey Reddick.
Long passes by the Edmonton Oilers. Accurate long passes. That time Tikkanen hits Curry. Curry didn't have a chance to go to the outside. He's a right-handed shot on the left side of the ice, and bang. Look at Tikkanen. He sees Curry, and what a fine pass this is. It's onside. See how Curry develops a better angle, stops, and then shoots. And Pokey Reddick with a fine glove save on Curry. There's the pass. Now Curry cuts to the middle to increase the shooting angle, and there's the save. Edmonton are deadly with those long passes.
Pokey Reddick signed as a free agent out of the Western Hockey League before he has spent a couple of years in the IHL, as John has chronicled for you, and he has faced it from everybody here tonight in that Edmonton lineup.
Bill Ranford was the backup for Pokey Reddick. Ranford had a fine season playing in Boston for the Bruins.
Don't look now, John, but the wave has arrived here in Edmonton.
About 2 years too late for my liking.
Carlisle with a pass to McLean. He's got Howard Chuck busting in the off wing. Howard Chuck shoots. Saved by Fuhr. And we've got a penalty upcoming to Edmonton as Messier reluctantly touches the puck. McLean, I think, was spilled in front, and Winnipeg will get a power play opportunity, though the Jets trail by 3 goals.
Blue.
When Whippoorwills call,
Labatt's blue.
and evening is nigh,
Blue heaven.
I hurry to mine.
Smooth.
Clean. Crisp.
Labatt's blue.
A turn to the right
Imported beer from Canada.
will lead you to mine.
Labatt's blue. Yeah.
Heaven
Muni gets the call for tripping at 9:15 of the third period. It was simply a case of Edmonton being outmanned in front of their own net. Winnipeg went to the net, and Edmonton took the penalty.
The Jets have missed on 2 partial power play opportunities earlier in the game. Here's Mario Marois with a pass back to McLean. He deflects it over to Howard Chuck. Out to Carlisle. McLean looks for Howard Chuck cruising through. Saved by Fuhr, and he flops in that rebound.
That was a fine play. Mullen, Howard Chuck, and McLean worked the one corner, and they each whirled around and swirled around and filled in for each other in the positions. And finally, it was Howard Chuck in the slot that took the pass from McLean and had the shot. Van Fuhr made a good save. As you look at Muni, there's 1:44 remaining in his penalty. Now they took the Tavish off face-off circle, and Messier is now going against Howard Chuck to the right of Fuhr.
And Howard Chuck tried to go right to the net with it. Carlisle, a good play to keep it in. McLean sweeps it to the corner. Brian Mullen in for it. It's taken by Huddy, and he drove it right off referee Dennis Morrell and up into the crowd. And Denny shakes it off.
Face-off will be inside the Edmonton zone. Glenn Sather's saying it should be outside, and you saw Morrell shaking his head saying no, it will be just outside the top of the circle. They've now taken Mullen off the ice and put Duncan on. Duncan's a better man as far as play along the boards goes. Mullen is a much better scorer.
Ian Duncan finished up the regular season after his collegiate year ended at Bowling Green with a goal and 2 assists in 6 games. Reddick in some traffic now as McTavish forces Reddick to hang on to that puck.
Reddick fanned on the puck as McTavish went at him. Reddick had no choice but to hang on to it. Actually, Reddick's got another brother that's a goaltender playing for Prince Albert in the Western Canada Junior League. Western Junior League, they call it now. That's the area where Terry Simpson, the fine coach of the Islanders, spent his career coaching. Dan Maloney, the face-off with Reddick having trouble, even though the Jets on the power play has to be inside that Winnipeg zone. That's something they did not want.
Dave Ellett readies himself as we look at Hunter wearing the battle scars of playoff hockey, and he's contributed a goal tonight for Edmonton. Olesen with 1:13 remaining on the Muni tripping call. Swedish-born Fredrik Olesen, and Steen dumps it in. It's chopped away by Lowe, knocked down by Ray Neufeld. Ellett chases after it. Neufeld muscles in there. Hunter lost his stick. It's shoveled back to Steen. They look for Neufeld in front. Neufeld can't get the shot away as he's leveled by Lowe, and McTavish clears the puck.
That shows you the steadiness and the smarts of Kevin Lowe. He saw the puck was going to go to Neufeld. He went right to him and neutralized Neufeld before he could put the puck into the net.
Steen across to Laurie Boschman. Has no one breaking to the net. And it's fired out of there by Steve Smith. Gretzky's on with 26 seconds remaining on the Edmonton penalty. Olesen rushed by Gretzky. Curry's in there, and Olesen maneuvers back to center ice. Leaves it for Hamel. Looks for Wilson. Quick shot saved by Fuhr. And he controlled it, but Olesen gets it back. His shot is tipped wide. It was off Coffey's stick. Here's Carlisle. He's checked by Huddy. Randy Carlisle to Gilles Hamel. Penalty's over. Edmonton is back to full strength. Hamel against Huddy. Rolls it back to Smale. He fires on goal. Curry grabs it. Out for Paul Coffey. And he beats Carlisle. Coffey's in clean. A save by Reddick. Gretzky gets a hold of the rebound, but it's recovered by Marois.
That's what we talked about earlier. The Oilers love to go to the outside of Randy Carlisle.
Curry couldn't gather in the pass. And Marois.
Tell you though, when Coffey gets ahead of steam up like that, I don't know what defense is going to nullify Coffey on a play like that. The only one that did was Pokey Reddick with another good save.
Under 8 minutes remaining in the third period. Ruotsalainen couldn't sneak his way through the defense. Smith breaks his stick in the shot. It's tipped wide by LeMay. Duncan sends it ahead to Howardchuk. And he barely avoided the hip check by McSorley. The puck comes back to McSorley. He drops it for Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski and Duncan contest for it. It comes back to LeMay, and his shot is off the pads of Reddick. And they freeze the puck for the whistle. 7:20 to go in the third. Edmonton has a 3-goal lead at 5-2.
The 1946 MG. The 1957 Thunderbird. The 1987 Volvo 740 Turbo. A collector's item you can drive every day.
Edmonton has outshot Winnipeg 34-25 thus far in the hockey game. They had the advantage 14-11 in the first, 13-8 in the second. And they have had 7 shots here in the third period. Jets have come back with 6 of their own, but Howardchuk's 2 tries there in front on Fuhrer are probably the best they've been able to muster. McTavish gets it to McClellan. He's bumped by Kite. Muni keeps it in. It dribbles to Dave Hunter. McTavish helps out for Edmonton. Poked away by Boschman. Now away for the puck. We've got Nil and McClellan squared off.
Shadow boxing. There we go.
And Nil goes with that left hand, and so does Kevin McClellan. Some devastating punches by both right off the bat.
McClellan is left-handed. Nil coming back pretty good. Wow. Nil's had all kinds of problems with injuries this year too, Rick, and McClellan starting to tee off. Now the linesmen jump in when they see the one man at the upper hand. The linesmen do a good job to break it up. Started away from the play. 5-2 game. Just wanted to get after each other. Boys will be boys.
McClellan and Nil go to the penalty box here in the third period with the Oilers leading 5-2.
Whippoorwills call.
Labatt's Blue.
Evening is nigh.
Blue heaven.
I hurry to mine.
Smooth.
Clean. Crisp.
Labatt's Blue.
Oh, turn to the right.
Imported beer from Canada.
We'll lead you to mine.
Labatt's Blue. Yeah.
Heaven.
We're just now catching the penalty calls, and it's going to be a situation of coincidental penalties. 5 minutes each for fighting. And they earn the 5 there, John.
Oh, man, get the ice packs up.
Greg Muni cuts back for the puck. He's paired with Kevin Lowe. As John's mentioned, they've been a very effective team all year long for Edmonton. Mario Marois is rushed by Molame. Krushelnyski on the steal. Marty McSorley backhands it in. Mario Marois sends it ahead for Ray Neufeld. Neufeld, who has one of the 2 Winnipeg goals tonight, can't get much of a shot away against Lowe. Kevin Lowe. Dangerous pass, but it reaches its target, Marty McSorley. Back to Krushelnyski. He's got a head of steam, and he's held up by Marois. Krushelnyski to Anderson, lets it go, and it's tipped wide by McSorley. Marois backhands it away to McBain. Huddy holds him up. Get Nielsen off the Edmonton bench. Stick handles in, he's forced back to center, and he leaves it there for Mark Messier. He gave it up to Ron Wilson. Wilson shoots. Pad save by Fuhrer.
Messier has not had an outstanding game. He has neutralized Howardchuk pretty well, but he's given the puck away a lot.
There's a save by Fuhrer, the try by Smale. We've got a penalty upcoming to Huddy for pulling down Ron Wilson. And the Jets come to life here, and they'll get another power play opportunity.
That whole play developed when it was a bad pass across the blue line by Messier. Winnipeg developed a scoring chance from it, and they also made Charlie Huddy take a minor penalty. So Winnipeg will get another chance on their power play to get back into this hockey game. There's 5:31 remaining in the third period, and the Jets trail by 3.
Holding is the call to Huddy.
Right in front of the net. He went right at Wilson and dragged Wilson down to the ice surface.
The Jets don't have a devastating power play. They've been a bit better here in the playoffs, although they've missed on 3 opportunities tonight. They desperately need to connect on their power play opportunity here. Check that. This is their 5th opportunity of the evening. As Lowe can't get it out. Marois looks for Howardchuk. It bounces to him. A save by Fuhrer on the shot by Dale Howardchuk. John, I don't know how that pass made it by a couple of Edmonton Oilers.
Bounced through everybody. Fuhrer's been very steady in this hockey game. He has not been spectacular like he normally is, but he's been smart. Howardchuk got the puck. Howardchuk's got a quick release, and Fuhrer made the save. Now, Howardchuk being bottled up, as I mentioned earlier, McLean has not had a chance to get many shots around the net of Grant Fuhrer, and usually he's an open man, and Howardchuk is a very accurate and creative passer, but Howardchuk just has not had the room to develop. As you look at Dan Maloney trying to charge up his troops on the bench. That's Dan Maloney being the head coach this year of Winnipeg. Winnipeg improved in the standings by 29 points. That's a big, big, big increase.
It's cleared down the ice by the Oilers with 1:37 to go on the penalty to Huddy. Randy Carlyle, who had a 16-goal season this year, with a pass out to Howardchuk, and Muni got a piece of his backhand feed. Marois has to reach back for it.
The neutral zone play of Edmonton killing the penalties has been super. There's no compression. See, only one man is going after the man with the puck. That's McTavish. You'll watch this again. McTavish is going to go at Carlyle. Not great pressure. He's sitting back. Now Hunter goes in. But between the blue lines, they're stacking it up pretty well. Winnipeg finally have to dump it in on their power play.
Ian Duncan trying to play it back to the point, and it's taken by McTavish. He's surrounded by blue shirts. Takes his shot, and it's wide of Pokey Reddick. We've got 45 seconds left on the Winnipeg power play. Here comes Howardchuk. He's got Steen, and his shot is blocked, and the rebound try is smothered by Muni. He got them both.
Muni had to learn a lot from Kevin Lowe. Kevin Lowe, one of the best shot blockers in the league, has taught his defense partner. You can tell, and Muni was smart. He went down. When McTavish missed that last shot, Rick, the puck came around, and 2 Oilers were trapped, so that made it a 3-on-2 for Winnipeg, and Winnipeg couldn't get a shot on goal. Penalty killing by McTavish and Dave Hunter was excellent. Now we have another set of penalties here. After that last play, correction. My apologies, no more penalties.
I think they had to clean up pieces from a broken stick, and they deposited the stick over near the Edmonton penalty box, where Charlie Huddy is residing, for another 37 seconds. And there's another dig at Calgary.
And Neil and McClellan are still in the penalty box serving their 5-minute majors.
From the draw, it's controlled by Messier and cleared down the ice by Muni. 4 minutes to go here in the third period. Edmonton is protecting a 3-goal lead. Olesen sends it out for Laurie Boschman. Ellett in for the point. Can't sneak it in there to Neufeld. It's chopped away. Olesen covers up across to Boschman. He scores! Laurie Boschman just turned and fired, and the power play goal has cut the Edmonton lead to 5-3.
It looked like the puck may have gotten out of the Edmonton zone, but Olesen kept it in, and Boschman did not leave his position. There you see Boschman waiting for the puck, and with a real quick turnaround play, just snapped it past Grant Fuhrer. There's Olesen keeping the puck in. He finds Boschman, who caught the pass on his backhand side and went to the forehand for the shot. And I think that quick pass surprised everybody on the Edmonton team. Edmonton thought the puck was going to come out of the zone.
Olesen and Ellett assist on Boschman's second of the playoffs. Both have come in this series at 16-16 on the power play. It's a 2-goal Edmonton lead with 3.5 to go. Deacon can't get it by Merwan. His shot is out of the webbing of Fuhrer. Tight, pinches in. Ron Wilson digs it free for Gilles Hamel. It's poked away by Wayne Gretzky, and here he comes. Swings away from a chop from Wilson. Gretzky leaves it for Curry. Deacon is well covered. Merwan turns the play around for the Jets. He leaves it for Mullen. Wilson was tied up by Curry. Knight can't sneak it past Esa Tikkanen, and he's got Gretzky waiting at center. Wayne Gretzky charges in. Ron Wilson gives it to Olesen. And they're shut off once again in the neutral zone. Here comes Smith. He's content to just push it back into Winnipeg territory. Paul McLean has been held silent tonight. Hands it away to Marty McSorley. McSorley left alone. He'll continue to kill some clock here as it's deflected with a high stick by Krushelnyski, but the Jets control, so play continues. Ian Duncan can't find Dave Ellett. Krushelnyski throws it in there. McSorley will give chase. Krushelnyski kept out of there by the goaltender Reddick. Howardchuk with under 2 minutes to go. And his pass was poked away by Molyneux. Olesen gives it to Duncan. LeMay reaches back for it. He has scored for Edmonton tonight. And the Jets down by a couple of goals, trying to get some pressure on that Edmonton net. The long shot is handled easily by Fuhrer. LeMay chips it out of the zone. Nilsson will give Carlisle a run for his money. Reddick helps out. Ian Duncan slips it to Neufeld. Neufeld pulls his way past Muni's, held up on the hook by Messier. 1:12 remaining as Lowe lifts it out.
There's been no motion from Dan Maloney towards Pokey Reddick to remove him for the extra attacker. There's now 1:05 left in the third period.
Neufeld is dumped on the hip check by Muni with a minute to go. And Neufeld is shaken up. He's trying to get to his skates.
Excuse me, Rick took a shot from Boschman. Boschman did not like the idea of the hip check on Neufeld. And he is laboring in pain. It's his right leg. And you hope it's not a knee. You hope it's a Charlie horse above the knee. You'll see Muni cut across. Neufeld doesn't see him till the last second and bang. And that looks like the leg just collapsed in the knee. You just hope it's not a knee problem. Boschman went right at Muni after the play. There's the play again. You see the right leg hit from the outside. He is now up in his own legs, skating off his own power.
Now that is good news from the Winnipeg standpoint, certainly, as Ray Neufeld is one of those physical grinders that you need at this time of the year, and especially going against a club like Edmonton. Neufeld, of course, came over to Winnipeg in the celebrated deal from Hartford for Dave Babbage back in November of '85, and both players were placed under a lot of pressure. Neufeld in particular, his first year in Winnipeg, and he's always been an affable fellow, and as it turned out, it was getting to him, the criticism on the deal that they were keeping blame in Winnipeg on him, that he refused to talk to the media at the end of the season, and that is not Ray Neufeld, but things have settled down, and he's happy with the Winnipeg Jets.
He's from Winnipeg. Played his junior up in Flin Flon, Manitoba, same place Bobby Clark played his junior.
38 seconds to go, and Reddick is still in net, and the Oilers lead by 2, and we got a whistle on a 2-line pass.
Coaches have different theories about pulling goaltenders. Bob Johnson in Calgary says your chances are better at even strength of scoring a goal late in a hockey game than they are pulling a goaltender. Because the percentages of the other team get empty net goals. In Europe, European coaches do not pull their goaltenders at all. And here, Dan Maloney, as Glenn Sather looks on, Dan Maloney is not even summoned over towards Smokey Reddick to take him off the ice for the extra attacker. The Jets trail by 2 goals, 36 seconds remaining in the third.
This will put the Jets in quite a hole from which they'll try to climb out on home ice at the Winnipeg Arena Saturday night. They'll be home Saturday and Monday.
Only 4 teams had better home records in the entire league than Winnipeg, and I think they're going to be extremely tough in their home building.
They've got all their fans clad in white. That was the case in the Calgary series, and did they ever make noise to root on the home club as we wind it down here. 18 seconds to go. McLean out ahead for Boschman. And the Northlands crowd will count it down with 7 seconds remaining. McLean throws it from center ice on net. Shearer makes the stop, and that will do it. The Edmonton Oilers, as the Screamers come flying out of the stands, gather around Grant Fuhr to celebrate a 5-3 victory, and they take a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 Mike Division Final.
The Grinders got the job done. The Edmonton Oilers, Gretzky and Messier's lines were good, but not real good. It was the third and fourth lines that did the job, and Grant Fuhr was steady in the third period.
Well, John, you talk about the Grinders and their effectiveness for Edmonton. That brings us to the Hartford Insurance Player of the Game. The Hartford, the insurance people of ITT, present tonight's Player of the Game, and he is Dave Hunter of the Edmonton Oilers, who scored a goal that gave the Edmonton Oilers the lead at 2-1 late in the second period, and just all night long defensively in the corners. His performance certainly was typical of what you spoke about with Edmonton dominating along the boards and in front of the net tonight.
Once again, I think it's a situation where the third and fourth line, those players really feel that they are a major part of the Edmonton Oilers Hockey Club right now, and it's showing on the ice.
The final score here, Edmonton 5 and Winnipeg 3. ESPN's coverage of the road to the Cup continues after this.